I'm not going to stay in this spot long at all, as I really hate mosquitoes. Hey guys, welcome back to Reggie T Plus on another adventure. So, I'm deep inside these woods here. It's my first time taking on this trail. It's actually kind of a public-private property, a couple of 100 acres, but public-private, it's like you have to be a member of this land trust, which I am a member, to hike this particular area here in Connecticut. Anyway, so I decided to roll camera because I get inspired oftentimes when I'm in the forest, when I'm hiking like this, because there's a certain level of heightened awareness, which then becomes sort of, I don't want to say clairvoyance, but things start to become more into perspective oftentimes. Especially, the deeper in you go. And I suspect this particular area sort of crisscross in and out of the inhabited areas, so like neighborhoods and whatever, and then it goes back deeper into the forest. But nevertheless, it's still an amazing experience. We had a huge rainfall yesterday, and it kind of rendered the environment sort of lightly damped. Surprisingly, it's not as cool as I would ideally like it to be. It's in the, I believe, mid 60s today. But yeah, I just figured I'd, roll camera on this and share my quick thoughts as I venture on this new trail. And as usual, you know me, I'm gonna be looking around, as you should, when hiking. Interestingly, I learned something new just yesterday about whenever, I'm not sure if you can see, maybe when I get closer to a rock wall, I show you. But these rock walls, I used to think whenever I'm hiking, get some clearance here, some sky. So yeah, so I used to think that whenever I saw these brick walls, I really used to think that it was
a split pace, 28 minutes, 48 seconds per mile.
Okay, just made a mile, I guess. So yeah, so I used to think that they were for the rock walls were for land demarcation. So like, if you have property, you have your property lines. So I really thought that back in the day, they would use these rock walls to divide the land, just like as simply as property lines. Turns out that way back in the day, we're talking 200 plus years, all this forest that you see around me, all of this was actually low-cut farmland. Yeah, low-cut farmland. And so those farmers, that's how they made, so basically what I call the rock walls are actually, some of them, or are the foundations for houses, foundation for barns, and I would assume that it's also to say, hey, this is my property, this is my farmland too. So not only was it just to divide the land and show that, okay, I own this piece, you own that piece, and so on, but also, in fact, it was a entire community of farmers here back in the day, which I found very interesting, to say the least. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to zenning out and hiking. I'll show you what I see as I go along. My intention is not to make a long video, as I often say, but you never know. Some people might enjoy it. Anyway. So as you can see, some rocks in here making somewhat of a foundation. So these are sort of the remnants of the rock walls I was mentioning earlier. Yeah, so it gives you perspective when you're deep in the woods like this, and you pass old relics like this, this rock wall here, which is clearly made by humans 200-300+ years ago. The Europeans have been in Connecticut since the 16th century when they came over here. So it's safe to assume, 16th, 17th century, folks were out here laboring, building rocks, when all of this at some point was farmland. And now you look around and you're in the forest. 200-300 years later, it gives you perspective of time. Well, it gives me the perspective of time and how things change. Inevitably, I hope that's the right term, time moves on, trucks on, regardless of favor for human beings. Whether you hate someone, like this, hate that, time marches on regardless. you know, what are you doing with your time? You know, that's a real true question there. But anyway. Yeah, so in this part of the video, It's just pure exploration at this point. So I'm off the trail completely. And I'm just wandering off within reason. Nothing unsafe, I think. But just following the walls. And the mosquitoes are picking up, which tells me that there's some stagnant water here. And so, right, I'm not gonna stay in this spot long at all, as I really hate mosquitoes. So I don't think there's a well here. But if you can see, oh my God, all right. Okay. Let me turn the camera around so I can properly shoot this thing. So yeah, so like I was trying to explain earlier, I don't know what they had here, but I'm guessing they probably, if it wasn't a rock slide, they probably tried to create some sort of a channel for the water supply for the farm at some point in the past. That's my best suspicion, right? Because we notice the rocks aren't gathered on the sides, they're gathered in the middle. So as if to curtail the flow or control the flow, heading down that way. But yeah, that's just my guess, I guess. But yeah, so there's no trails on this side. It's just real life forest, the way I like it. Yes, I just ventured off a little bit there. Just do a bit of exploring. So I'm gonna head down, wrap this video up by the lake so you guys can have a beautiful visual of that body of water. I just had a thought, I was like, should I just continue? But sometimes you have to know when to call it quits, right? So yeah. Just gonna slowly make my way out of this area here.
Split 2. Split pace, 50 minutes, 20 seconds per mile.
I was looking around to try to find where I entered this enclosure, as I call it. I call it enclosure for the obvious reason. The rock walls all around. I think this is where I came in. But anyway. Let me show you the lake. So we came out of the forest here. Actually, through that pathway here. That's where we were. And now we're entering the lake. So people do a lot of fishing down here. Um, Fishing, hiking, running. Some hoof prints there. Can't quite tell.
Exercise ring closed.
Can't quite tell what made them per se, because animals are not allowed in this place, in this around this lake, in this park generally. So I'm guessing it's some wildlife, perhaps deer. Not sure if there's anything that's bigger than deer in here, like bears. But yeah. Let's see how far we can actually get down here, because there's some serious receding that took place. The lake definitely receded, but I hate mud also. So we came off the original trail that we initially started this video on, and now we're walking along the lake. It's had some, the tide has receded significantly, but yeah. Anyway guys, I will not draw this video out anymore. I'm sure you've enjoyed some of the beautiful sights. And please continue to watch Odyssey Plus as I continue to go on these adventures in an effort to have new experiences, in addition to sharing them with you guys, right? I could always just come and have the experiences and then go home, right? But I chose to share them with you, and I hope if you do like these videos, let me know in the comments. All right? Just hit that little thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, show me some love. All right? And until next one, my friends, keep moving. Peace.
Goal achieved. 1 hour, 30 minutes.
I just wanted to make the point that the last time I came here, all this area was actually under the lake. And this is how much the lake has receded, all the way down here. Someone's flying a noisy plane. But yeah, the lake comes all the way up here. You can see where the brown sticks are, the brown parts of the bushes. That's where the lake usually is. So all this is usually underneath the lake. Now, this part is kind of deep, so I have to be careful where I'm walking. But the lake has receded significantly. It's really quite amazing. Yeah, check this out. So whenever I come here, I always see people who are fishing. You can see the hook. And this is at the bottom of the lake. Amazing stuff.